bad guy in the history of the world. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Antichrist. He is kind of cute, though.
So small, so easily manipulated. Tell me, Jonathan, who is the puppet here? Look where I am and look where you are.
Do you have any idea? Do you know who you're dealing with?
Do you?
Have you seen his deep, deep blue eyes, or his blue eyes, and piercing blues up, and the camera goes right up to here, and he says, do you know who you're dealing with? And you look at those eyes, and then look what he does right after that, he kills people. Whoa, that works much strongly, I think, than casting somebody who was a bad guy in the first case.
I'm having a lot of fun. It's, as an actor, I get to, play, classic Jekyll and Hyde. Good guy, bad guy. But there's a lot of details, the accent, obviously, him being the location, the magnitude of the story, what it means to so many people. I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to do it. As an actor, it's a lot of stretching, and the people I'm working with to be great.
Now you've had a glimpse of just how powerful and compelling Left Behind is going to be. And that's important because we want you to be our biggest supporters when this movie hits theaters in February of 2001. But don't just take my word for it. You can see it for yourself when it comes out on video in November of this year. And that way you'll be just as excited as we are making this film the smash theatrical hit of 2001.
First of all, you need to engage the audience, you need to entertain them. And at the same time, you need to say, well, here is something for you to think about. In this film, I think Vic and the producers managed to find that line of being able to go from one element to another without estranging the audience with suddenly, oh, here's another message.
This is one of those films, this is one of those movie stories that, you don't have to be a Christian, you don't have to be religious. Once you see this, you get it. You get the message. And I think it's an important message, and it's important that we get films like this out there.
Take the book of Revelation, which is the hardest book in the Bible, and it's hard for me. I've been a Christian, well, it seems like my whole life. I've been reading the Bible, been exposed to Bible stories, and been around fellow Christians my whole life, and it's still a tough one to read and understand. So imagine someone out in the real world who has never even picked up the Bible, how confusing it would be to them. That's why this movie can be such a great tool and a way to reach people. I'm really honored to be a small part of it.
Mark. This movie's going to go wildfire across the country and perhaps around the world. It's, as I said, it's a virgin field. People are interested, and they hear Left Behind. I don't want to be left behind. What are they talking about? So I think that the secular world is going to respond to this movie in a great way.
It's not a religious film. It's a faith-based message in a very large and exciting story with really good filmmakers, really talented. I think it's breaking new ground, and I think it's right in there with, all of the big films. It's a supernatural thriller.
I think the success of this film really depends on a lot of people going to see it, number one, and enjoying the movie. And they can honestly say to their friend, wow, this is a really good movie. Whether you believe in it or not, it's a good movie. You'll enjoy going to see it. And no matter how much advertising, no matter how much posters you put up and things like that, it all comes down to word of mouth. If you have a good product, it's going to show. And so far, from what we've seen, we've got an excellent product. And I think people are going to be very happy when they see it. Whether they believe it or not, I think it's going to cause a lot of discussions around family tables.
Well, that was our vision from the beginning, is to make this a grassroots effort where we get the Christians that would join hands and decide that they're going to support this film because they love the Left Behind series and they know what it's about. It's ministered to a lot of people and their family, their friends, and we felt like if we can work within that market, we can ask the Christians to support this thing based on them knowing it's going to be a great film, it's going to follow after the books. It'll talk to a cousin, it'll talk to the next door neighbor. We think that we'll have a great turnout, and hopefully we'll end up being a pretty significant thing within the secular media.
This could be an evangelical opportunity. The fans can't be disappointed. They have to see this book come to life and not just see an abomination, something else that's creative for the sake of creating a movie, and that's what's been captured here is a faithful, committed film that the Christians can rally behind and say, I'm proud of this, I'm not embarrassed by this. And just like the books have crossed over, the film has the same potential.
And so I think this movie gives us an opportunity to bring this message and the message of hope that is within the gospel to millions of people. And so I really encourage folks who've enjoyed these books, this is time to grab your friend who you couldn't talk into reading the book, and grab your family member and go see this film on the big screen. In 2 hours you come out with a great story, and as I say, I think people will leave with something as well that will just linger in their mind for a little bit longer.
All I care about is finding some answers.
Do you know who you're dealing with?